Welcome friends. Let us go for the next part of discussion related to the xenon compounds, especially noble gas compounds. Xenon fluorides. The varieties of xenon fluorides are as we made the discussion and their corresponding structure, hybridization, geometries. Xenon difluoride, xenon tetrafluoride and the xenon hexafluoride. Xenon difluoride is having 3 lone pairs, whereas xenon tetrafluoride is having 4 are participated, remaining 4 implies 2 lone pairs, and here it is having 1 lone pair, that is 6 plus these two, totally 8. Whereas preparation methods, xenon followed by fluorine in 2:1 ratio chemical combination under high pressure conditions leads to the formation of xenon difluoride. Similarly, 1:5 ratio chemical combination leads to xenon tetrafluoride. Similarly, 1 and 20 ratios of xenon and the fluorine chemical combination leads to xenon hexafluoride. Similarly, from xenon tetrafluoride also hexafluoride can be prepared. That is, tetrafluoride plus fluorine leads to the formation of hexafluoride. And once again, another one reaction, xenon tetrafluoride plus fluorinating agent, that is oxygen monofluoride, otherwise dioxygen difluoride, which is acting as a good fluorinating agent. As a result, it is converted to xenon hexafluoride. It is a redox reaction. Xenon undergoes oxidation. So therefore, here oxygen of plus 1 oxidation state is converted to 0 oxidation state. So therefore, here minus 1 oxidation state is converted to plus 1 oxidation state is converted to 0 oxidation state. This is reduction, and here it undergoes oxidation. Hence, it is redox reaction. Once again, here this is plus 4 state is converted to plus 6 state, that is an oxidation. Whereas here oxygen is having plus 1 state is converted to 0 state, that is reduction. Hence it is redox reaction. Whereas the physical properties related to the fluorides, xenon difluoride is colorless crystalline solid having melting point of 140 degrees centigrade. And xenon tetrafluoride is having colorless crystalline solid nature having melting point 117.1 degree centigrade. Similarly, xenon hexafluoride is once again colorless crystalline solid with melting point of 49.5 degree centigrade. Yes, chemical properties of xenon fluorides. Xenon difluoride on reaction with hydrogen, it is converted as xenon followed by HF. And on reaction with water undergoes hydrolysis, whereas the more electropositive element in this is H. Fluorine want to combine with the hydrogen. As a result, the xenon undergoes reduction to xenon plus 2 to xenon followed by HF followed by oxygen, liberation takes place. Here oxygen minus 2 is converted to 0 state, whereas xenon plus is converted to 0 state. Hence it is xenon undergoing reduction, oxygen undergoing oxidation, hence this process is redox reaction. Next, it is also acting as good oxidizing agent. On reaction with iodine, it is converted to hydrogen fluoride. It is acting as fluorinating agent here and also acting as oxidizing agent. It oxidizes iodine to I plus, I0 to I plus. Similarly, on reaction with HCl, it is converted to HF. See, hydrogen combines with the fluorine HF followed by Cl minus is converted to Cl0, that is acting as good fluorinating agent, that is oxidizing agent. It is also acting as Lewis base. If any acceptor is there, if any vacant orbital containing species is there, for that it is going to be donating F minus and forms a new complex, xenon difluoride followed by antimony pentafluoride leads to the formation of xenon fluoride and the antimony hexafluorides combination. Xenon monofluoride antimony hexafluoride combination takes place. Thus it is acting as good Lewis base, electron donor, that is ligand donor, F minus donor. It is also acting as good fluorinating agent. Here we looked at this. It is acting as oxidizing agent, it is acting as fluorinating agent, it is acting as Lewis base, it undergoes reaction with hydrogen, it undergoes reaction with water, undergoes hydrolysis and leads to the formation of oxygen. These are the chemical properties related to the xenon monofluoride. Let us go for the xenon tetrafluoride. Xenon tetrafluoride and reaction with hydrogen similar to that of difluoride. It leads to the formation of xenon followed by what? Here HF similarly on reaction with water it undergoes hydrolysis in such a way that leads to the formation of xenon trioxide followed by xenon formation. In this reaction, xenon of +4 is converted to +6 oxidation and +4 is converted to 0 reduction. Both are happening, hence it is redox of disproportionation reaction. Redox of disproportionation reaction similar to that of xenon difluoride. It is also acting as Lewis base on reaction with antimony pentafluoride. Xenon trifluoride and the antimony hexafluoride combination occurs and leads to the formation of an adduct, and also acting as oxidizing agent, fluorinating agent, and it is soluble in the anhydrous hydrogen fluoride. It is acting as oxidizing agent. It combines with like iodine-like substances and leads to the formation of iodine fluorides, and also it makes the other substances as fluorides, like it has fluorinating agent. It is also soluble in anhydrous hydrogen fluoride. And the next important fluoride of the xenon is xenon with the 6 atoms of the fluorine, that is said to be the xenon hexafluoride. Similar to that of remaining 2 fluorides of the xenon, xenon hexafluoride also on reaction with hydrogen leads to the formation of xenon followed by HF. And reaction with water, partial hydrolysis and complete hydrolysis, all reactions takes place, whereas on 1 molecule of water leads to the formation of xenon oxyfluoride, with 2 molecules of water xenon dioxydifluoride, and complete hydrolysis 3 molecules of water, total fluorines are replaced by the oxygen, hence it leads to the formation of xenon trioxide. It is acting as Lewis base similar to that of antimony pentafluoride, arsenic pentafluoride. It forms a complex like xenon pentafluoride of antimony hexafluoride, otherwise the arsenic hexafluoride formation takes place. It also acting as Lewis acid also, because it is having 6 fluorine atoms. It can expand its valency. So therefore, if any metal fluorides like sodium fluoride, calcium fluoride, cesium fluorides are present, in that case it combines in such a way that metal cation is present as it is, whereas the fluoride ion of that particular metal is involved in chemical combination with xenon hexafluoride and leads to the formation of xenon heptafluoride anion. Thus metal xenon heptafluoride combination formation occurs. Thus it is acting as Lewis acid here, and also acting as here Lewis base here, and also here it is acting as Lewis acid. Yes, the oxides of the xenon trioxide as well as the xenon tetroxide. Xenon trioxide preparation, xenon tetrafluoride and reaction with water undergoes disproportionation reaction. Already we made this discussion at the chemical properties of xenon tetrafluoride. Here it underwent oxidation and it undergoes reduction. As a result, +4 is converted to +6 oxidation and +4 is converted to 0 reduction. Disproportionation reaction occurs. Thus it leads to the formation of xenon trioxide. Similarly, xenon hexafluoride and reaction with water, chemical reaction takes place in such a way that xenon trioxide as well as HF reaction, HF formation takes place. In this there is no change in the oxidation numbers, hence it is non-redox reaction. Xenon maintains +6, oxygen maintains -2, fluorine maintains -1, hydrogen maintains +1 in all the reactants as well as the product, hence it is a non-redox reaction. It is a colorless solid having melting point of 25 degrees centigrade. Above 25 degrees centigrade it explodes, and it is acting as good oxidizing agent and acting as source of oxygen, hence it is good oxidizing agent. Let us go for another important oxide of the xenon, that is xenon tetroxide. Whereas barium perxenate on reaction with sulfuric acid it leads to the formation of barium sulfide followed by xenon tetroxide formation takes place. It is also non-redox reaction because there is no change in oxidation numbers. Every constituent elements related oxidation number remains same. Barium maintains +2, xenon maintains the same +8, whereas oxygen maintains -2. Similarly, sodium perxenate also on reaction with sulfuric acid leads to the formation of xenon tetroxide followed by what? Sodium sulfate formation takes place. Here it is also non-redox reaction. This is also non-redox. Whereas this is also non-redox reaction. Both are non-redox reactions. It is unstable gas because it is also solid, but at room temperature conditions it doesn't present in the solid state. It is present in solid state at minus temperatures like minus 35 degrees centigrade. Above this it explodes and gives a huge source of oxygen, hence it is also acting as good oxidizing agent, but both are dangerous. Both explodes, gives a excess amount of oxygen, explosion is uncontrollable, hence these compounds are considered as somewhat dangerous chemicals in case of xenon oxides. Those are xenon trioxide as well as the xenon tetroxide. Xenon trioxide chemical properties: on reaction with water it undergoes hydrolysis. As a result it leads to the formation of xenic acid, whereas it is non-redox reaction because everybody will maintain its corresponding oxidation numbers. Xenon of +6 is maintained as it is, so therefore oxygen -2 hydrogen +1 is maintained. It is non-redox reaction. Whereas on reaction with alkali it undergoes disproportionation. Suppose on reaction with base, any of the base, it is converted to xenon followed by, that is, XeO6-2 perxenate ion formation takes place. The +6 oxidation state is converted to 0 reduction, and the +6 is converted to +8, and that is oxidation. And in this, in order to maintain the oxidation numbers, extra oxidation should occur, and that is possible by liberation of oxygen also. Hence it is redox followed by disproportionation. Redox followed by disproportionation reaction. If we go for the xenon tetroxide, which is unstable, and on heating it is converted to xenon followed by oxygen. Thus these are the chemical properties related to the xenon oxides, especially xenon trioxide as well as the xenon tetroxide. And the oxyfluorides of the xenon: xenon oxy tetrafluoride, xenon dioxy difluoride, xenon oxy difluoride, xenon dioxy tetrafluoride, xenon trioxy difluoride. Out of these, the important oxyfluorides are xenon oxy tetrafluoride, xenon dioxy difluoride, which are the derivatives of xenon hexafluoride, followed by, this is the derivative of xenon tetrafluoride, that is xenon oxy difluoride. Preparations: these are prepared from the xenon hexafluoride on hydrolysis with water, otherwise on reaction with silicon dioxide leads to the formation of xenon oxy tetrafluoride followed by silicon tetrafluoride, and their hydrogen fluoride formation takes place. Whereas in this, if we look at the reaction related conditions, it is a non-redox reaction. Silicon is maintaining +4, phosphorus, fluorine is maintaining -1, whereas xenon is always maintaining +6. Hence it is a non-redox reaction. The above one is also non-redox reaction. And formation of xenon dioxy difluoride, these are also derivatives of what? Xenon hexafluoride only. Xenon hexafluoride followed by hydrolysis we can form. And one of the product of hydrolysis of this one is xenon oxy tetrafluoride. That xenon oxy tetrafluoride and reaction with water or reaction with silicon dioxide leads to the formation of xenon dioxy difluoride. It is very simple. And the next one is xenon oxy difluoride, which is a derivative of xenon tetrafluoride. Tetrafluoride and reaction with water, 2 fluorines are replaced by oxygen and leads to the formation of xenon oxy difluoride formation takes place. Thus, all the reactions related to the formation of xenon oxy tetrafluoride, xenon dioxy difluoride, xenon oxy difluoride, all these non-redox reactions, oxidation number remains same for everything, here and here. Here also everything, here also everything maintains the same oxidation number, hence these are all are non-redox reactions. Yes, the xenon oxy tetrafluoride is a colorless volatile liquid having melting point of -46 degrees centigrade. It undergoes liquefaction, converted to the liquid state at -46 degrees centigrade, and it is more volatile in nature. Whereas xenon dioxy difluoride is colorless solid having melting point of 29.8 degrees centigrade. Whereas this xenon oxytetrafluoride and reaction with hydrogen, it is converted to xenon followed by HF, and reaction with water, xenon oxydifluoride formation takes place. If excess water is taken, it is converted to xenon trioxide followed by HF. The same thing is possible with respect to silicon dioxide, leads to the formation of HF in the form of HF. Here it is silicon tetrafluoride formation takes place, that is xenon trioxide followed by silicon tetrafluoride compound formation occurs. Whereas this xenon dioxide difluoride and reaction with water, two fluorines are replaced by oxygen and leads to the formation of xenon trioxide followed by HF. Whereas this xenon oxydifluoride is unstable related to its preparation, physical properties and chemical properties. A very less information is known about xenon oxydifluoride. Yes, uses of the inert gases, helium, neon, argon, krypton and the xenon. Let us go for the helium. Helium is non-inflammable gas, it doesn't catches fire and it is a light gas. If you look at that hydrogen is inflammable, that is more safety, and the lightest gas is helium. And it is filled with the balloons, it is filled with which balloons are filled are used for the metallurgical observations, that is meteorological study purposes. Balloons are used which are filled with the helium, and it is used in gas cooled nuclear reactors to maintain the low temperature. To handle the reaction where low temperature is required is given from the helium itself, and it is a good cryogenic agent which produces lower temperature for the laboratory operations as well as surgical operations on the humans, and also acting as superconducting magnets like NMR and the MRI, nuclear magnetic resonance, as well as the magnetic resonance image. These are all are working under very low temperature where magnetic activity should be very high, and to maintain the higher magnetic activity, low temperature is required. That required low temperature is provided from the liquid helium. Thus, helium is very important, as being it is inflammable, it is light, and also with helium balloons are filled for the meteorological observations, and gas cooled nuclear reactors as a cryogenic agent and superconducting magnets are controlled under the helium low temperature conditions. Let us go for the neon. Neon is used in the discharge tubes where advertisement purpose for different colors if we required, neon gas is used, and also used in fluorescent bulbs, and also bulbs used in botanical gardens are filled with the neon, and the bulbs used to maintain high temperature in the greenhouse conditions of the gardens, those bulbs are also filled with the neon. Let us go for argon. Argon is generally used for a creation of inert atmosphere, whereas metallurgical operations where inertness is required, that is provided with the help of argon. Welding of metals and alloys is also done under the inert atmosphere of argon itself for filling of electrical bulbs, especially in laboratory chemical transformations where the inert atmosphere is required. That inert atmosphere is provided by this particular argon. Whereas krypton and xenon are not having much significance. Special light bulbs are present which are designed for these special purposes, are generally filled with the krypton gas as well as the xenon gas. Hence, these are all are the applications. As we know, the solubility of the inert gases are also decreases, also increases from top to bottom. Helium is having lower solubility, so therefore that marine divers are used to the gaseous cylinder of oxygen filled with the helium, because helium is having low solubility. So due to presence of this helium, the oxygen content decreases, thereby oxygen and helium less in amount is soluble inside the blood vessels. When they comes from the bottom of the sea, then the pressure automatically decreases. The gas whichever is dissolved want to come into the gaseous phase, whereas if it is less soluble, it won't come. If it is highly soluble, then it takes the shape of the gaseous physical state. As a result, bubbles will be formed in the veins, thereby a severe pain, and that situation is said to be bends, and often human dies. In order to avoid that one, less soluble gas like helium is introduced into the cylinders, thereby the gas dissolved in the blood will be very small in quantity, that never acquires the shape of gas bubble. Hence, you will be safe enough from the all unwanted pains as well as the bends like situation. Thus, insolubility of helium is criteria to make a composition of oxygen as well as the helium for the deep sea divers.